Starting lineups brought to you by the Vermilion Chamber and Development Company. Keep an eye on Mark-Eddie Norelia. As we mentioned, Christian Terrell, though, is a guy that's really come on in his sophomore season. Averaged just 3.3 points per game last year, just under 14 per game so far this season. Look at the starting five for Craig Smith and the Coyotes. Trey Burnett, as we mentioned earlier, the leading scorer and rebounder for this Coyote basketball team. Casey Kasperbauer, a career best 13 points per game in his senior season. The ball is up, and the tip is controlled by Reggie Reed and the Eagles as Florida Gulf Coast gets the first chance with it on the offensive end. Reed, the true freshman. Three-pointer is off the rim and out, and it falls out of bounds. It will go to South Dakota.
USD starting in a 2-3 zone, packing the lane, going to try to make Florida Gulf Coast beat them from the perimeter.
Shy McClellan operates this offense much of the time for Craig Smith and the Coyotes. Shares that point guard spot with Trey Norris, who comes off the bench for about 27 a game. DJ Davis' three is off the mark, and Florida Gulf Coast with the rebound. Here's Julian DeBose.
Florida Gulf Coast with their length, very good rebounding team, both ends of the floor.
Here's Terrell. Just mentioned his offensive improvement so far this season. Reed on the drive is fouled hard by Robertson, so Reed will head to the free throw line. Joe Dooley in his third season as the head coach at Florida Gulf Coast, longtime assistant for Bill Self at Kansas, part of that program when they won the 2008 national championship. He's guided the Eagles to back-to-back 22-win seasons, and he's got a very young and up-and-coming team this season, Greg, one that's light on upperclassmen.
Yeah, long tenures between head coaching experiences, but learned a lot under Bill Self at Kansas. And there you see Craig Smith in his second season for USD.
Who learned a lot under Tim Miles at Colorado State, Nebraska, among other places. Craig Smith in his second season at the helm for the Coyotes.
Florida Gulf Coast going to pick up full court now.
Quick trap off the inbound. Davis nearly threw it away. How about those ups from McClellan to save the pass? Open look for Kasperbauer. His first three is down.
That's the one thing you don't want to give up is the open three, especially to Kasperbauer. Great job, as you mentioned, by McClellan to secure the pass and then to deliver the assist.
Kasperbauer, one of the top three-point shooters in Coyote basketball history, and that's going to be a travel on Terrell. And a turnover for Florida Gulf Coast.
USD with that zone look, switching all of the dribble-ats and the handbacks, just causing a little hesitation on the part of Florida Gulf Coast. They're going to come out again with full court pressure, not trapping this time.
Back to Kasperbauer. That was his 220th career three-point basket at South Dakota. Ranks 8th in school history in that category. Robertson leaves the jumper short. DeBose grabs the rebound. Mismatch inside. Norelia, good post pass there.
And it was in that shifting zone action. As you watch the replay, Kasperbauer has to come back down and a little undermanned, but does a great job of not allowing Norelia to get that ball up to the basket and give him an opportunity at a three-point play.
So Mark-Eddie Norelia, to the free throw line for the first time tonight. First of two is too strong. 73% shooter at the free throw line.
Norelia transfer from Tulane. A few of those on the roster for Florida Gulf Coast.
Misses them both. So 1 of 4 start at the free throw line tonight for Florida Gulf Coast. And they do struggle there, Greg. 7th in the Atlantic Sun coming into the night at 64.5%. Neither one of these teams shooted well at all from the charity stripe, and that has played true so far tonight. Robertson Look baseline, quick give. Kasperbauer open again. He's 2 for 2.
Great job of making the extra pass by DJ Davis, and that's one thing they've done all preseason, Jay, is make the extra pass. That's why they lead the Summit in assists.
Kasperbauer struggled a little bit, at least for his standards, of late beyond the arc. Kind of broke out of his slump, 4 of 7 from downtown against UNLV just prior to Christmas, and now 2 for 2 to start tonight.
And both real open looks. Teammates setting him up.
3 seconds in the lane, charge to Florida Gulf Coast. A couple of turnovers early for the Eagles. Coyotes, question is, can they take advantage of those? Kasperbauer with a couple of early threes to open up this 5-point advantage.
You hit it on the head, Jay. Can they take advantage of it? They've got to create these turnovers into scoring opportunities.
McClellan is fouled on the drive by Reed. That'll be his first.
McClellan, a strong individual. Here you watch him. Does a great job of hesitating and then just getting his shoulder past the hip of his defender. Draws the foul. Out of bounds underneath for the Coyotes.
McClellan to do the inbounding. Kasperbauer. Deep one, 3 for 3 start for Casey Kasperbauer, and a quick timeout for Florida Gulf Coast. This pace continues.
I got a feeling he's not going to get as many open looks the rest of this game.
Probably not. Zach Johnson in at the point guard spot now for Florida Gulf Coast. Here's Terrell. Aurelia, good help defense there from Robertson.
Good hard double on the backside by Robertson. That's what we're going to see in the post.
Here's Johnson. Too strong. Rebound controlled by Aurelia. No, he stepped on the baseline.
That's one thing that, as we saw USD starting out defensively, is they're going to take away and they're going to go hard double on those post touches, force Florida Gulf Coast to beat them from the perimeter. And that time, as you see, Noriella's foot clearly on the baseline. Not going to give up anything easy inside against Florida Gulf Coast.
Kasperbauer thought about it again. He's got a long defender in front of him now. Svetichinen, the lone holdover from that Sweet 16 team. Number 15 out there for Florida Gulf Coast. He's 6'9", guarding Casey Kasperbauer. Sidesteps him, got it off in time. It's off the rim. And the rebound controlled by DuBose. Johnson got hung up, threw it away. Another turnover for Florida Gulf Coast. Great start. Florida Gulf Coast showing that full court pressure once again. Coyotes break it easily with McClellan. He goes all the way to the rim. Can't quite get it. Trey Burnett was there on the putback attempt. He left it just a little bit short.
McClellan so strong, able to absorb the contact, just not able to finish. As you mentioned, Burnett with a shot at the offensive rebound.
Aurelia's pass a little underthrown, and it results in the 4th turnover already for Florida Gulf Coast. They have more turnovers than field goal attempts to this point, Greg.
Yeah, only 2 field goal attempts, as you mentioned.
Burnett gets Aurelia to hang up, but he's too strong off the glass.
USD really getting back in transition defense, not really going hard to the offensive boards, but don't want to get beat down the floor.
One thing Craig Smith said pregame, as key to the game for USD is playing with pace on both ends of the floor, and we've certainly seen that so far tonight.
And I think it's a great approach is to don't let Florida Gulf Coast get going in that transition game. Here we see DJ Davis does a great job. Long pass across the top. He sees it, jumps the route, so to speak, using football terminology, and creates the turnover, draws the foul.
Dan Jack checks in, the freshman from Rochester, Minnesota, his first action of the night. Off the bench for South Dakota.
Jack, an inside-outside guy.
Places Eric Robertson. And he's a guy that has been the most accurate shooter on this Coyote team. And a nice take for DJ Davis and a finger roll finish at the rim.
Good recognition by Davis to see the closeout is slow to get there off a ball reversal. No help side, gets all the way to the rim.
Svetichinen rattles it home. First field goal of the night for Florida Gulf Coast comes from beyond the arc. It's 11-4 South Dakota.
Just as Kasperbauer's a guy that they need to find. Same thing for Florida Gulf Coast.
He's open again. 4 3-pointers in the first 6 minutes of this contest for Casey Kasperbauer. He's got 12 of South Dakota's 14 points.
Svetichinen not going to be in long if he's going to give up a 3 for every one he makes.
In and out for Rajon Tucker, but he will go to the free throw line.
Talking about
oh no, they're going to say the foul happened on the floor, so it's going to come out underneath for Florida Gulf Coast.
And Jay, you talked about him before the game. Rajon Tucker, number 24, true freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina. 6'5", 205, and he is cut and chiseled. Looks very mature for a freshman.
Freaky athletic ability. Florida Gulf Coast staff telling us today that his standing vertical is 38 inches. His running vertical, 48 inches. DuBose, the runner, is good, 14-6.
Yeah, I think you need FAA clearance for anything over 45.
First 2-point basket of the night for Florida Gulf Coast. Dan Jack back coming the other way for the Coyotes is fouled.
Really nice job by Davis. Comes off the ball screen after Jack sets it and comes right back to him on the screen and roll action. Jack quick to the rim, just not able to finish, but does get himself to the line.
Foul goes to Zach Johnson, his first.
Talking to Coach Smith this past summer, he was very excited about the arrival of Dan Jack. Just the flexibility, the versatility that he gives him in a 6'9" frame.
He, along with fellow true freshman Tyler Hagedorn, have played significant minutes here in the early part of the season for the Coyotes. You knew they were going to be a big part of the plan. They made it pretty clear that they were going to be a factor right off the bat when they came in. And both have, it obviously it's taken some time for each of them to get up to speed, get acclimated to the college game. Hagedorn a little bit longer than Jack, but he's started to really figure things out here over the last 3 weeks.
You really have, Jay. Both very versatile, can score in a variety of ways, and as two true freshmen, it's good to see them out here contributing early in their career.
Reed back in there at the point for Florida Gulf Coast now. Morant goes inside out. Back to Reed in the corner. Shot clock winded down. Deep 3 for Reed is off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound. The putback for Morant.
And Jay, we talked about it off air. Florida Gulf Coast can really hurt you on the boards. In their wins, they out-rebound their opponents by over 10. In their losses, they get out-rebounded by 5.
Open look from the quarter for Jack. Offensive board for Hagedorn. Had it stripped away by DuBose on the floor. The ball comes away with Florida Gulf Coast. Good hustle play there by Julian DuBose. Deep 3, Svetichinen, and another putback for Morant.
Morant so active, so rangy. Had a double-double last time out, but he's not polished, but he's active, and that's what gets you those offensive rebound opportunities, and he's taking advantage of a couple of them.
Svetichinen called for his first personal on the drive for Casey Kasperbauer. McClellan checks back into the game along with Robertson. Jack and Davis will sit for South Dakota.
Kasperbauer's smart. He's got Svetichinen on him, and with his length, he'll contest the 3. But I'll tell you what, Kasperbauer will put it on the floor against him.
Trey Norris, the 2 point guards out there together now. Not a lot of room that time for Kasperbauer. Still able to get it up and over Reed, and it's last touch by Florida Gulf Coast.
Nice job by Eric Robertson. Very active, kept that thing alive off of Florida Gulf Coast. New shot clock now for USD.
Hagedorn will inbound right in front of the Florida Gulf Coast bench. Kasperbauer got Svetichinen to leave his feet, but didn't have anywhere to go with it. Now here's McClellan. 15 on the shot clock as he goes inside to Robertson. Skips it to the corner for Hagedorn. His 3 a little too strong, and a rebound for Noriella. Terrell. Another offensive rebound. Florida Gulf Coast is kind of dominating the glass here early on, and that's a concern for the Coyotes. The Eagles very good on the glass. That shot swatted away. Terrell. And a foul. Tyler Hagedorn at the line when we come back. 16-10 South Dakota with 11:23 to go. Hagedorn, the freshman, to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
A couple of plays. I don't know if the Florida Gulf Coast bench was overly pleased with that foul call, but Hagedorn, we saw him kind of get a rebound taken away from him earlier, an offensive rebound, and that time when he went to the rim, he's got to go with the intent that he wants to dunk anything and everything when he's close to the basket. That's the difference between high school and college, is a physical nature at the rim. And he's going to adjust because Tyler Hagedorn, very talented, as is Dan Jeck for the freshman for USD.
1 and 2 for Hagedorn. Extends the lead to 7 as we approach 11 minutes to go first half. When we talked earlier, Greg, about getting up to speed and just getting used to the college game, Hagedorn has seen his minutes dramatically increase here over the last 3 games. His first 10 games, he was averaging under 10 minutes a game, 9.7. But over the last 3, 25 per game, and that's just things starting to click, according to Austin Hansen, one of the assistant coaches. It
is, and the neat thing is, the reason you can do that is you got guys like Trey Norris, Shai McClellan, and also Casey Kasperbauer. You've got mature guards. They can always make young bigs better.
Terrell, the runner, fouled on the floor. No shot. It's going to go against Shai McClellan, and that'll be his first.
You look at the experience there, you see Shai McClellan, a guy who has had the ball in his hands a lot and really makes good decisions with it, takes care of it. Love Trey Norris with his experience, the guy willing to come off the bench, and he plays starter minutes, and he doesn't turn the ball over. Just so valuable.
A lot of contact there. No call made. Reed, the 3 is short, and a rebound chased down by Burnett. Here is Trey Norris. Kasperbauer alone in the corner again. He's got 5 first half 3-pointers. It's 20-10 South Dakota.
Trey Norris, his assist to turnover ratio is fantastic. There's just a great example of it.
A floater for Reed. Won't go. Here's Norris coming back quickly with that pace again for South Dakota. Kasperbauer. Robertson, his first 3-point attempt of the year, is too strong, but Trey Norris chases down the offensive rebound. McClellan's second chance from beyond the arc won't go either. And here comes Florida Gulf Coast back into the front court. Morant. Terrell guarded tightly by Norris.
Back to that small lineup for USD with Burnett at the 4.
Good find for Reed. Norelia lost the handle briefly. Reed got it back, but again, can't convert at the rim. Kasperbauer's looking to shoot every time he touches it. This one comes up just short. He thought he had that one as well.
At this point, why not? The guy is feeling it, and I've got a feeling Coach Smith kind of expects every one of his attempts to go in right now as well.
Quiet start for the night for Mark-Eddie Norelia. Another turnover for Florida Gulf Coast. They're having issues hanging on to the basketball tonight.
Good job by Robertson to get to a front, forces that lob pass, and just a poor job of delivering the pass.
Robertson got hung up. Good defense there by Norelia. It's last touch by Florida Gulf Coast, so it'll stay with the Coyotes. DJ Davis checks back in, as does Julian DeBose and Zach Johnson for Florida Gulf Coast.
I like Robertson taking that strong, but as you talked about it, Norelia just very good defense, law of verticality, high hands.
Footer for Robertson. That's his shot. He loves that baseline jumper. Zach Johnson on the other end for Florida Gulf Coast is a little closer in his drops.
Yeah, McClellan just kind of got hung up in the lane, lost him just for a moment. That's all he needed, hits the perimeter shot. Right now, not a lot of perimeter shooters on the floor for USD. Burnett can shoot the 3 occasionally.
Up and under for Davis, and he got the shooter's touch.
I think that actually slipped out of his hand a little bit, Jay, but I think just was fortunate enough to get it high enough on the glass. Softly bounced on the rim a few times and then drops.
4 points for Davis. Shy McClellan the steal now. Up ahead, here's Davis. Back and forth. McClellan has it knocked away, but it's going to stay with the Coyotes. Good hustle back down the floor. Svetichinen knocking that one free for Florida Gulf Coast.
That was good effort by Svetichinen. Great pass by McClellan, but here you see Davis. I don't know if it just slips out of his hand a little bit or not. I can't really see, but it was, like we said, high enough on the board.
A lot of contortion on his body there. Good control, though, up in the air. Able to get the finish. Under 8 minutes to go, 22 to 12. Favors South Dakota. Deep three for Burnett. He left it way short. But again, good hustle back down in transition. Defense creates another turnover. Norris, though, can't convert. Here comes Norelia. Again, Shy McClellan pokes it away. Now Zach Johnson knocks it out of bounds. What a sequence. 7. Then they go to Illinois, lose 91-79. Burnett with a career-high 27 points in the loss. And then things just went terribly wrong in Las Vegas on December 22nd. The Rebels hit 18 three-pointers. Scored on 9 of their first 10 possessions. What a find. Shy McClellan to Trey Burnett.
McClellan so opportunistic, so good at recognizing the lanes, draws the defender, sets his teammate up for the layup.
McClellan, 5th in the Summit League in assists at 4.2 per game, and that was a nifty one there. Zach Johnson, a nice finish on the other end for the Eagles.
Nice take by Johnson. Florida Gulf Coast doing a better job now of attacking the rim rather than settling for the perimeter shot. Still trail the Coyotes by 10.
4 points off the bench now for Zach Johnson as Florida Gulf Coast pulls within 10. Burnett had it swatted away by Rajon Tucker, and he's going to bring it end to end. Fouled on the way up. It's going to be 2 shots.
Talk about Rajon Tucker. Strips Burnett on one end and then literally takes about 3 dribbles to cover about 80 feet. Here we saw the last time down the floor a nice reverse layup by Florida Gulf Coast. But Tucker, true freshman, good looking player.
Not been good at the free throw line this season, though. 46%. Or excuse me, looking at the wrong line. He's been pretty good. One of the better ones on this team, actually.
Well, he's fit
30 of 45, 75% at the line, but he misses. Yeah, tonight has been a struggle.
Florida Gulf Coast 1 of 5, 1 of 6 now. Yeah. Kasperbauer back in the game, 5 of 8 from 3-point, accounting for the majority of the Coyote points.
15 first half points for Casey Kasperbauer, all on 3-pointers. He's 5 of 8 from downtown. Think about how bad this game could be from an offensive standpoint if he wasn't hitting those shots, because the Coyotes are struggling from the field, just around 30% for the game, but they're up 10 because Florida Gulf Coast has had trouble hanging on to the basketball. Their offensive rebound, Johnson's putback won't go, though, and McClellan comes away with it. Leaves it for Davis. His shot knocked away by Norelia. Ball is loose. Scramble for. It's going to stay on alternating possession with South Dakota.
Just the length of Florida Gulf Coast around the rim. I think it's got Coyote players almost hesitating at times. DJ Davis, you know, just instead of going up strong, he hesitates, shot fakes, and almost allows the Gulf Coast defender to position himself and contest the shot.
Coyotes shooting 30.8% from the floor, 8 of 26.
As you mentioned, it's a struggle right now, like you say. If not for the 5 3-pointers of Casey Kasperbauer, it would be a different ballgame.
Taken 15 threes already in this first half. Eric Robertson checks back in, replacing Danjek. Coyotes to inbound, 19 seconds on the shot clock. 5:47 to go first half.
Just love the composure of McClellan on the floor.
Oh my. Did everything but finish that one, and Terrell comes away with the basketball for Florida Gulf Coast. Norelia. Eric Robertson going to be whistled for his second personal, and that will send Norelia back to the free throw line. He missed his first two.
Yeah, I mean, here we see, and actually they're probably lucky they called it on Robertson. It probably should have been on McClellan. He's the one who kind of came in late.
Actually, check that. They did actually give it to McClellan.
Norelia knocks down the first of two. McClellan goes to the bench now for his first breather of the game. Trey Norris back in.
Norelia gets both. His first 2 points of the night. Leading scorer for Florida Gulf Coast has just 2 points in this first half.
USD turns it over against the pressure. I was say this 8-point lead's tenuous, Jay, and all of a sudden now Florida Gulf Coast a chance to cut it to 5 or 6.
Here's Johnson. Norelia, contact there. No whistle made either direction, and Robertson now fouled on the rebound.
Just love the activity of Florida Gulf Coast on the offensive boards. You know, you and I've talked off air, Jay. Feels to me like they've got about 6 or 7 offensive rebounds, but here Kasperbauer gets outside, absorbs the contact, but just so active on the offensive boards. Robertson does a nice job of holding on, drawing the foul.
Foul goes against Rajon Tucker, his first. 1-and-1 situation here for Eric Robertson, and he can't connect in the front end.
Coach Dooley actually has to be pleased if they've stayed within 8.
Johnson, little floater, rolls off the rim. Burnett nearly got hung up there. Robertson, foul will go against Tucker, so he picks up 2 quick ones in a matter of about 30 seconds of game clock.
You see Kasperbauer finds Robertson. Robertson just kind of hesitates. Forces Tucker to kind of come out of his stance and then attacks with the dribble, gets himself to the free throw line. Finally able to convert at the line.
Demetrius Morant checks back in, replacing Tucker with those 2 fouls. Trey Burnett will come off for Tyler Hagedorn. Robertson connects on the first. 82% free throw shooter.
You know, Jay, you've alluded to this earlier, just the development of Hagedorn and Jack. What that does as far as a rotation for bigs, keeping fresh bodies on the floor, so valuable for the Coyotes.
Lead back to 10 after those 2 free throws for Robertson. Terrell, he's been quiet. Norelia's been quiet. Everybody offensively really has been pretty quiet for Florida Gulf Coast. Terrell's shot off the mark. Another offensive rebound for Norelia as he hustles to keep it alive. Gets a fresh shot block for Florida Gulf Coast. Here's Morant. His shot blocked by Hagedorn. Again, Norelia chases it down. Deep 3 for Johnson. Terrell flies in for the offensive rebound, and he is fouled on the floor.
Well, I'll tell you what, Florida Gulf Coast missed 3 shots, but the ball never went the other way for USD. Just so active and so aggressive on the offensive boards. Neither team shooting the ball well, Jay. But when you get offensive rebounds, it makes that poor field goal percentage look a little bit better. Now a chance to cut this 10-point lead into single digits.
Foul on DJ Davis, his first. Terrell hits the front end to earn the bonus. Look at that block by Hagedorn.
Yeah, kind of reached in, got his hand on top of the ball. Terrell knocks down both. Full court pressure again by Florida Gulf Coast. Terrell chasing Kasperbauer all over the floor right now.
Norris going to pull up for 3. Swirls it home. Trey Norris, his first points of the night. stretches the lead to 11 for South Dakota.
Much needed for USD. They've struggled so much from the floor, Jay.
3:28 to play first.
Zach Johnson, redshirt freshman. Jay, you talked about this off air as well. Just a lot of young talent on this Florida Gulf Coast team.
Johnson forced a redshirt due to medical reasons last year, so it's been a while since he's been on the floor. Couldn't practice either, even though he was redshirting. And Joe Dooley said that obviously makes the development of a young player a little trickier when you can't get him out on the floor. But he's really been happy with how Mr. Johnson has come along this season. He gets a lot of time at that point guard spot, along with the other freshman, Reed. 3 on the shot clock. Norris gets it off in time, and an offensive rebound chased down by Hagedorn.
Nice active play by Hagedorn on the offensive glass. Came out of there strong with it.
Pull-up jumper for Trey Burnett. And it's last touched by Robertson. So Florida Gulf Coast takes over.
You go back to Robertson, goes up. Yeah, that's
close.
The official obviously had an extremely good view of that one. He was very definitive with his call.
DJ Davis checked back into the lineup for South Dakota, replacing Hagedorn. Julian DeBose left it short off the front of the rim, and a rebound for Burnett. Nice pass from Davis inside to Burnett. Maybe hung on to it a little bit too long, Greg, and it's
every shot fake on Coyote guy's attempt.
Put back for the first field goal tonight for Marquette legend Frank Leahy, and if that name sounds familiar, it should. One of the all-time winningest coaches in college football history, not to mention at Notre Dame. You hear on his story and his connections to the state of South Dakota. So going to have first half stats. Casey Kasperbauer, first shot from inside the arc. 6th field goal of this first half for the senior from Carroll, Iowa. Nice job by Coach Smith out of the timeout to get it back in Kasperbauer's hands. Even though it's a 2, it's an open perimeter shot. USD needs something to get back into rhythm offensively. Johnson, good open look for Terrell. Shots aren't falling for Florida Gulf Coast. Back the other way. Kasperbauer with the left hand. Great job by Kasperbauer, realizing Terrell was closing hard. Fakes to the right, goes to the left side. Nice reverse layup in transition. That 7-point lead back up to 11. Kasperbauer, 19 first half points. His career high is 26. He set that earlier this season against South Dakota Mines, a Division II school. Now he gets the steal. Up ahead to Trey Norris. DJ Davis does the smart thing and backs it out, allowing the offense to set up in the half court. Kasperbauer had it poked away. Last touched by Terrell, as Trey Norris and Terrell got on the floor for the loose ball. Watch Kasperbauer in transition, does a great job, realizes Terrell's chasing him down, goes all the way to the left side. Nice reverse finish. 11 on the shot clock as Trey Norris to inbound. 15-footer for Robertson is no good. Robertson's just trying to aim that thing, and he just got to let that thing go. He's just tense right now. He's missed about 4 or 5 of those mid-range jumpers this game. Right now he's 0 for 6 from the floor tonight. 0 for his last 9 in the last 2 games. Held scoreless at UNLV. Norris last touch that one, and he goes in to the camera guy on the baseline. Julian DeBose, great hustle once again as we see Norris trying to get back into the action, but great effort by DeBose. Watch DeBose knocks it off of Norris. It's just great timing. Yeah, it was. So Florida Gulf Coast can hold for the final shot of this first half as we go under 10 seconds. Norris pokes it away. And the Coyotes, the foul comes on the floor, but Davis will shoot because the Coyotes are in the bonus.
The clock. Okay, foul happened with .2, so they're going to put that on back on the clock as Rob Kuhneman, the official, comes over and explains to us.
1-1.
And again, it is a 1-1, just the 9th team foul against Florida Gulf Coast. Davis is 74% free throw shooter. First trip to the line tonight. Gets the first to earn the bonus.
Nice job by Davis after kind of the extended timeout as the officials had to look things over, but comes up, knocks down the first of 2.
And he gets them both. 6 points in this first half for DJ Davis, and that is going to do it for the first half. In Sioux Falls, South Dakota goes to tough when things aren't going their way.
They are a difficult team to score on in the paint. USD's experienced that already. They're going to have to do a better job in the paint. They can't expect good three-point shooting the entire game.
Original starting lineups for both teams out there to start this second half. Morant turns it over, the 12th turnover already tonight for Florida Gulf Coast. Pull up in transition for Kasperbauer, and this one rims off, last touched by the Coyotes. Let's send it over now to Carla Metz.
With Coach Dooley at the half, and he said USD's defense is doing a great job, but he said that his team is just turning over the ball in ridiculous ways, and they've really got to just take care of the ball this half.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. They've shot themselves in the foot a lot through that opening 20 minutes, and a nice open look as the defense left Terrell open, and he's not going to miss many like that.
Yeah, Terrell moved McClellan just with the pass fake, and nobody in front of him as he buries the 18-footer.
Shai McClellan spent some extended time on the bench for South Dakota with 2 fouls in that first half. Turnaround for Trey Burnett off the back of the rim. DuBose with a rebound. Reed with a three-pointer. 5 quick points now for Florida Gulf Coast. Just like that, the lead's down to 8.
Yeah, just as USD scored 6 straight to end the first half, Florida Gulf Coast comes out and opens it up with 5 straight. Single-digit deficit now.
Coyotes close the half at a 6-0 run. Florida Gulf Coast starts this half at a 5-0 run. And another miss for South Dakota from Trey Burnett. Here's Terrell. DuBose. Terrell wide open out high.
We'll see if Coach Smith runs a set this time down the floor. Not happy, I think, with the shot selection the first 3 times down the floor for the Coyotes.
Robertson had to hustle just to keep that one alive as McClellan comes over and swats Terrell's shot and then gets fouled by Morant.
That was a great block. We saw what I thought was a great block in the first half by Florida Gulf Coast. You watch McClellan rise up on this one. He gets that ball at the peak of Terrell's jump.
Joe Dooley wanted a foul here. Thought there was some body contact. Might have a case.
Well, maybe a little bit.
Either way, there's some good spring right there from Shai McClellan, who stands a listed 6 feet. That might be a little generous.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's put together an explosive and just a great effort that time on his part to get back and defend that easy shot. Gotta believe they're going to come with some type of set this time for USD.
Little room on the baseline there for Robertson, and he's fouled by Morant. And that's going to be his 3rd now. And he'll have to check out of the game.
Morant very active for Florida Gulf Coast on the offensive boards. But I like that action that time. They just do a little pin down screen with Robertson for Kasperbauer. And then Kasperbauer's defender trails him up, realizes he's closely guarded. Robertson's one-on-one on the baseline, drew the foul.
Kevin Mickle off the bench for the first time for Florida Gulf Coast tonight. And he quickly picks up his first personal as he guards Robertson. Mickle, 6'7", redshirt sophomore out of Brooklyn, New York. Transferred into the program from Broward College. Inside to Burnett. Burnett threw it away right to Norelia. Norelia pulls up. His jumper drops. And it's a 7-0 run to start the second half for Florida Gulf Coast.
Florida Gulf Coast will take 15-foot jumpers from Norelia all day long.
Still struggling to finish at the rim. Craig Smith mentioned that at halftime.
Yeah, that time McClellan really almost got caught up in the air with nothing to do. Threw up a prayer, but as you mentioned, it is difficult to finish around the rim. There's hesitancy. There's tentativeness. None of those things are good from an offensive execution standpoint.
29 the shot clock as McClellan inbounds. Finds Kasperbauer, and he hits again.
I didn't see any tentativeness or hesitancy.
That was a quick trigger. He's had a pretty quick trigger tonight, and why not? You see Kasperbauer now 8 of 13 from the floor. He's got 21 points to lead all scorers. Johnson fouled hard by Hagedorn, and Johnson will head back to the free throw line. First personal on Hagedorn.
Nice take by Johnson, and here you see Hagedorn just gets past Hagedorn, and Hagedorn bails him out, but does a good job of fouling aggressively and not allowing that ball to get cleanly into the rim. Forces Johnson to go to the line for 2.
Johnson, one of the bright spots. I hesitate to use that term because when you have 22 points in a first half, there aren't a lot of bright spots offensively, but Johnson, while Norelia and Terrell struggled offensively, Johnson did have 6 points off the bench to help give them something on that end of the floor, but he misses 2 free throws here, and the lead remains at 8 for South Dakota.
It goes back to the defensive end for USD, just saying we're going to take the paint away and force them to beat us.
McClellan picks up the foul. Mickle, his second.
Here you see McClellan just goes right by Nickel. Nickel reaches out and grabs him basically. But going back to the USD forcing Florida Gulf Coast to beat them from the perimeter. It's worked so far.
Already 14 fouls on Florida Gulf Coast. Just 1 charged to South Dakota so far. Just over 4 minutes into this second half. Davis nearly picked up another one. Finds Robertson. A shot blocked from behind by Norelia. What a play.
Norelia so active, so long, so quick off the floor.
Robertson nearly knocked that one away, but Norelia, persistence pays off. He gets another field goal. Starting to come alive here in the early part of this second half.
Just love his energy level, his relentlessness, both ends of the floor.
Kasperbauer from the baseline again. Little look over to the bench.
Where would they be without Casey Kasperbauer?
DuBose. Harrells just flew in, nearly got the tip in to go. And McClellan the other way, and he'll get fouled. Johnson picks up his 3rd. So far tonight, though, as we were talking about during the break, he has certainly contributed in this game. And hitting a free throw, though, has been a challenge for this young man. As good as he has been, averaging over 11 points per game, he comes into the night at 42% from the free throw line, had hit 3 of his last 22 before knocking down 2 straight here to start tonight.
Yeah, 5 boards, 4 assists. He's just so strong with the ball out there as well, and I think he's a key component for USD. I think he's a guy that can really lead him in a lot of ways this year.
Tucker walked with it. Covered a lot of ground there from the 3-point line into the lane.
Yeah, he did. And actually, nice job by Trey Burnett. Watch Trey Burnett's hands. They're high. They never come down. Well, he might have got away with one there, but he kept him high late in the possession. As you mentioned, by that time, the walk had already taken place.
So the turnover there for Florida Gulf Coast. Lead at 10. Chance to extend it here for South Dakota. McClellan on the wing, guarded by DeBose. Joe Dooley wanted to travel on McClellan there, but didn't get it. Here's Dan Jeck. Left-handed, nice soft finish for the freshman.
Nice finish going to the left. Step through. It's one of the few uncontested shots we've seen. Great hands by McClellan.
Good hustle on two fronts there. McClellan on the steal. Alley-oop looking for Jack, and he can't get it. Good hustle to keep it alive for Davis.
Great effort by Davis not to give up on that play.
Baseline jumper is good for McClellan. He's got 4 all in this second half. And the lead back to 14 now for South Dakota. And Joe Dooley wants a timeout. In 2014. Picked second behind North Florida this season.
Andy Enfield parlayed that into a big-time job at USC, and then Joe Dooley turned around and was the beneficiary of the opening of Florida Gulf Coast. Has done a heck of a job with him.
That's the program that's really exploded among mid-majors. I mean, this is a program well-known in Dunk City. He's got a lot to do with that, and a nice finish at the rim there by Julian DeBose.
Yeah, it really is. Give a lot of credit to their marketing department and the mileage they've gotten out of Dunk City. They still continue to get it.
They finally got the trademark, we learned today, just recently. Davis leaves for Jack, nearly traveled with it, finds Kasperbauer, deep three. You half expected that to go down, even though he really threw it up there.
Yeah, that's not out of his range.
Fresh shot clock for South Dakota now. Here's Davis in the baseline.
They had a play set up for Davis to slip last time, and McClellan 6 straight, 6 in the last minute and a half of game time. He's come alive, knocking those 2 free throws down, gave him some confidence, Jay.
2 field goals tonight. All 6 of those points again coming after halftime. Christian Terrell, he's the guy that I mentioned earlier. I mean, and now he forces the turnover, gets the floater, can't get it to fall, but he will go to the free throw line. But Terrell just 3.3 points per game as a freshman, and this year has jumped leaps and bounds. 13.9 points per game, almost 5 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game. It's the guy actually second on the team in total rebounds as a 6'5" sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, we've seen him. He's bouncy, he's active, but here you see him. He finishes, then he jumps to the point on this press, and Davis kind of throws it right at his arm and then fouls him, puts him back in the line. So Terrell a chance to go on a little 4-0 run of his own, knocks him down, cuts the lead to 11. Trey Norris looks like he may have taken a shot in the eye. But full court pressure here for Florida Gulf Coast. They can feel some momentum starting to swing their way, trying to get this back to a single-digit game.
Davis turns it over again, and now fouled. Fouls Rajon Tucker. Davis thought the foul happened before that as he tried to receive the inbound from Trey Burnett, but the Coyotes having trouble getting the ball in bounds right now.
Yeah, well, that's Davis's fault. You can't stop and wait for the pass to come to you. He's got to go meet that pass. The defender came right over him. Might have been some contact.
Terrell left that one short. This last touch by South Dakota, so it stays with the Eagles. 30 on the shot clock.
Ball's been on this end of the floor for a long time, Jay.
Reggie Reed will inbound. Tried to find Norelia. Tucker chases it down. And offense initiated the contact. That's one of the points of emphasis this year as Dan Jett steps in to take the charge.
Yeah, no argument from Dooley. Great observation, Jay. Jack in good legal guarding position. As you mentioned, the contact initiated by the offensive player. This full court pressure starting to cause some problems for USD.
And again, they force the turnover. Here's Terrell back the other way, and he's fouled by Trey Burnett, plus the bucket.
Well, this full court pressure starting to speed USD up, and seeing some turnovers from some uncharacteristic guys. Norris trying to lob that one ahead to McClellan, then he comes down and puts Terrell in a chance to complete a 3-point play. Terrell on his own little scoring spree here for Florida Gulf Coast. Chance to cut this deficit to 8. And if you haven't seen enough full court pressure from Florida Gulf Coast, guess what? They're going to continue it. For the first time this game, they've really had some success with it, rattling USD.
3-point play for Terrell, who picked up 8 points quickly here in this second half. McClellan quickly back the other way, and a lay-in for Trey Burnett. Another assist for Shy McClellan.
Just McClellan's ability to recognize.
Oh my. Christian Terrell doing his best Casey Kasperbauer right now inside the arc. McClellan over to Jack. His shot denied emphatically by Norelia. And now McClellan picks up a foul. 49-41, 11:56 to just a couple of minutes ago, but that full court pressure has really helped turn things around for Florida Gulf Coast, giving them some momentum here. And Christian Terrell's had a lot to do with that as well.
Yeah, those are the two dynamics that have kind of turned the momentum in favor of Florida Gulf Coast.
Here's Terrell again. He's got the hot hand. 12 points now, most of them coming in this second half. And here's Norelia. Both of those guys were quiet in the first half, and both have found a little bit of a rhythm here in the second half as the Coyotes again taking their sweet time to get it across the line. McClellan's pass looking for Robertson, who had some space. That might have been a two-handed throwdown had it got to him.
Yeah, McClellan's a guy that seems to be the most confident and strong with the ball when he gets it moving towards the basket. For the first time in a while, it's going to be a half-court opportunity for USD. Their turnover numbers have skyrocketed here in the last 4 or 5 minutes of game time.
They had 3 in the whole first half, already 5 here in the second half. 8 for the night, 15 for Florida Gulf Coast. A big reason South Dakota is in front in this game. Shot clock winding down. Turnaround for Burnett is no good. Offensive rebound for Robertson, but he throws it away. Quickly back the other way. Zach Johnson is fouled. Underneath him is Trey Norris, who picks up his second.
And those are the tough ones. Here you see Robertson secures the offensive rebound, and just kind of a lazy pass, but Norelia is so active on both ends of the floor, forces the turnover, starts the transition opportunity. All of a sudden we saw what was a large double-digit lead cut down to 6. Now a chance to be cut to 5 or 4.
Check that. That's actually the 3rd personal foul on Trey Norris. So both he and McClellan now with 3 personals.
Well, and against this full court pressure, Jay, you can't afford to be really without either one of those guys. With 10:53 to go, they're going to have to be smart on the defensive end. But I'll tell you what, if you don't turn it over on the offensive end, you're not putting yourself in so many at such a disadvantage on the defensive end. That's where a lot of their fouls have come.
Mickle comes back in, replacing Tucker. The 2 free throws for Johnson make it a 4-point game, as close as Florida Gulf Coast has been in a long time. Coyotes do get it down the floor this time, and Eric Robertson throws it down.
That's what they needed. Good job of advancing it with the pass by Kasperbauer. Took advantage of the over-aggressiveness of Florida Gulf Coast in the full court pressure.
Open look for Terrell, and he knocks one down. 2 for 3 for Florida Gulf Coast, and they are within the 3.
Big answer. Look at the job here. USD, as he advances the ball, Kasperbauer gets it, turns, doesn't waste time with the dribble, finds Robertson moving to the basket. Big basket, but big answer by Christian Terrell on the other end, burying a 3 and upping his point total.
Seen Robertson make that move to the rim a few times tonight, and Davis throws it away. Another turnover off that pressure for South Dakota.
They handled it so well in the first half, Jay. As a matter of fact, handled it so well, Florida Gulf Coast dropped out of it right now.
They went away from it, entirely.
Now they've come back with just a whole new level of energy, and USD is acting like they haven't practiced against it at all.
Chance to tie the game on this possession now. Offensive foul is going to go against Mickle, I believe, and that'll be his 3rd.
Yeah, he's a physical player. He's got very little discipline out there. He just knows one way to play, and that's high energy, physical, and the foul numbers reflect that.
He's played 3 minutes, has 3 fouls. McClellan fouled by Mickle.
And that's great recognition by McClellan. Realizes who's in front of him. And Nichols going to head to the bench. Good job. McClellan kind of loops right in front of Kasperbauer. Easy pass up the sideline, draws the foul, and that's going to get Rajon Tucker back in the game for Florida Gulf Coast.
1-and-1 situation for the Coyotes. One more foul and they'll be in the double bonus. Coyotes have 16 fouls, so both teams will be shooting the rest of the way.
McClellan misses the free throw. That's his point total. 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 big time block.
For him, he's 3 for 4 at the free throw line. That's a small victory considering how much he struggled there. Lead stretches back to 4, 52-48 as we approach the 10-minute mark. Tucker got a little space. Norelia had it knocked away. I think with the backside, Kasperbauer came and tapped that out of his hands.
It was. Watch Robertson get a body on him, but then Norelia just beats Robertson to the other side.
DJ Davis.
Davis knocks it up and forces the ball to stay on this end of the floor of Florida Gulf Coast. Norelia, heck of an effort.
See Florida Gulf Coast trying to get some looks for Terrell, who's been warming up here in the second half. Norelia sticks with it again. Can't get the putback. Tucker, his second chance won't go either, and the foul will go on the floor against Casey Kasperbauer, and that'll be his second.
You just watch, misses it, and then just stays with it. Just a ton of blue jerseys at the rim. USD left with no other option but to foul. And Jack into the game now.
1-and-1 here on the 7th team foul for South Dakota. Rajon Tucker. Just his first 2 of the night. Misses this one as well. DJ Davis the rebound.
Bonus for the missed free throws. It gets them out of the full court pressure, but they're still trying to trap 3/4 court. Ball back in McClellan's hands now with 19 on the clock.
Important to note, still the 2 point guards out there together. Trey Norris and Shy McClellan both playing with 3 personal fouls. Five on the shot clock for McClellan. Here's Norris on the drive. Nothing there. And they're going to call shot clock violation. Did that not connect the rim?
I don't know that it ever got to. Excuse me, I don't know that it ever got to the rim at all. You might think it touched the bottom of the rim, and here's a great angle of it. I think it got blocked.
No, it didn't.
I don't think it really got to the rim.
Out the window. Good eyes.
Whole new energy level for Florida Gulf Coast on the defensive end.
Reed off to Norelia, and he knocks down the baseline jumper. Comes up hobbling just a bit. A quick timeout. We'll be talking about this game and the openers for the Summit League season.
Well, Jay, we're going to see how much the freshmen Hagedorn and Jack have grown up here. Both on the floor right now with the upper class guards against this full court pressure.
Kasperbauer pulls up, and a foul on the floor as Jack got the offensive rebound. I think that's going to go against Norelia.
Yeah, Norelia kind of had his arm wrapped up, but I'll tell you what, credit Jack for being active on the offensive glass, forcing the foul action by Norelia. Norelia pulls him to the floor. Jack now with an opportunity to push this back to a 2-possession game.
It is a double bonus now for South Dakota, but Jack misses the first.
Right now, Trey Norris on the bench. You've mentioned both McClellan and Norris with 3. McClellan's out there. If he picks one up, they'll come back with Norris. Jack misses both free throws. Coyotes lead by 2.
Game has not been tied, Greg, since it was 0-0. Chance to change that. This time down for Florida Gulf Coast. They could take a lead. They'd like that even better. Reed's 3 is too strong, though. Offensive rebound goes to Tucker. Zach Johnson with it now. Reed on the drive. The foul happened first. He will go to the free throw line. A chance at a 1-1.
I like Jack. Jack comes over. He may foul him, but he goes aggressively, tries to block. And I think he got woke up a little bit because on the play right prior to that, I think he got jacked in the back a little bit, kind of turned around and said, well, I guess that's the way the college game's played. We'll see if he plays with a little more fire from here on out over the last 8-17 as Reed cuts the 2-point lead in half.
Foul actually went against DJ Davis. That's his fourth. First Coyote to reach 4 personal fouls. And he's going to check back out of the lineup with still 8:17 to go. And so now the Coyotes forced to go with 2 guys in the backcourt with 3 personals each. Again, Trey Norris and Shai McClellan. Reed a chance to tie it up here on this second free throw, but he can't do it. Hagedorn, though, has trouble hanging on to the rebound. Knocked out of bounds, though, by Florida Gulf Coast, so the Coyotes get to keep it anyway.
Well, this is an education for Hagedorn and Jack. They've got to get low, get wide. Terrell just worked his tail off, outworked Hagedorn that time. USD fortunate to come away with the possession.
Here's Kasperbauer. Coyotes do a good job breaking that pass and press this time. McClellan, though, again can't finish at the rim. And a foul on the rebound is going to be charged.
That's going to go against McClellan.
And that is going to be his 4th now.
McClellan will probably sit now as Trey Burnett's going to come in, but that puts Burnett, Norris, and Kasperbauer as the primary ball handlers. And I think Burnett's been a little bit tentative against this pressure.
9th team foul, excuse me, against South Dakota. 4th on McClellan. So that sends Rayjon Tucker back to the free throw line. He's missed his first 3 attempts on the night. Rattles this one home, and it's tied up 52 apiece.
Norelia and Terrell, both very active offensive rebounders. Jack and Hagedorn are going to have to stay low, stay wide, and keep them on their back if Tucker misses this second one.
Gets them both, and Florida Gulf Coast is in front for just the 2nd time tonight. They had the lead all of 8 seconds the first time, and now they force another turnover. Tucker on the floor, and a timeout for Florida Gulf Coast. 13 at the half. They now lead 53-52 with the basketball, and under 8 minutes to go. Coyotes have turned it over in bunches since the halftime.
Svetichian back in the game now for Florida Gulf Coast. 3-point threat.
Terrell. Burnett fouled as he went for the rebound this time.
Aurelia still kept it alive, but this time more white shirts in there. You see Aurelia gets a hand on it, but that time Burnett goes in. As you mentioned, Tucker comes over the back. Burnett now with a chance to put the Coyotes back in front.
We talked about Shai McClellan's struggles at the free throw line. Trey Burnett has not had it much better. 13 of 32 at the stripe on the season. Gets his first of the night here to tie the game at 53. Coyotes 64.9% at the free throw line as a team. Florida Gulf Coast 64.5%.
Those are 2 flat out bad percentages. I mean, it's the difference between 64% at the line and 74% at the line is going to be 3 or 4 wins on the year, Jay.
1 of 2 in this trip for Trey Burnett. Game is tied at 53, under 7.5 to play. Good anticipation by Hagedorn, but he came over the back of Norelia.
And the official makes the call, but I thought Hagedorn did a nice job coming to the low side. And you know what? If he uses his left hand on that, he may have a chance. He kind of uses his right arm, goes over the shoulder of Norelia and puts him on the line.
This is this one.
If you love defense, active defense, and shaky offense, and at times frenetic play, you're tuned into the right game, Jay.
Florida Gulf Coast now 14 of 25 at the free throw line tonight. The Coyotes are 11 of 17. And with this length of time to go, we are going to see a lot more foul shots. That could really be the difference in this one tonight. As Norelia misses both, the game stays tied at 53, and the Coyotes another chance to get back in front. Burnett will not get the continuation, but he will go back to the free throw line. That foul goes against Norelia, just his second, though. That's one significant piece of information. The two big guns for Florida Gulf Coast, meaning Terrell and Norelia, just 2 personal fouls each, whereas the Coyotes have several guys with 3 or 4. DJ Davis, Sean McClellan, and Trey Norris.
When you're as relentlessly active as Norelia is, it's hard sometimes. He just plays at that energy level at all times. He's going to get the benefit of the doubt most of the time, to be honest with you. So that's his second one. Burnett knocks down the first of 2. He's 3 of 4 from the line.
3 free throws in the last minute or so for Trey Burnett. Puts the Coyotes back on top 55-53, and this Pentagon crowd getting behind South Dakota. And Zach Johnson throws it away. Costly turnover for Florida Gulf Coast.
Force the turnover. As you mentioned, good defensive effort. And you mentioned the crowd's kind of been relaxed, put to sleep at times tonight. And they did come alive and kind of created some defensive energy for the Yokes.
Nice pass. DJ Davis finds Burnett. He's got 5 points straight for South Dakota. It's a 4-point Coyote lead.
A little louder in here now. Defense turning into offense for USD. Once again, USD back to protecting that paint defensively.
Norelia on the drive, high off the window, and a nice finish for Marquetti Norelia.
Great finish, and what that does allows Florida Gulf Coast to set up that full court pressure again, and another turnover as Trey Norris allows it to go off his hands. Little bit of momentum the USD had now. Here you look at Norelia. Great job going hard to his left, high off the glass. They follow that up with a turnover out of the press.
12th turnover of the night for South Dakota, 9th in this second half. That has been the reason that Florida Gulf Coast has gotten back into this game, even took the lead back. Chance to tie it or get back in front on this possession. They go back inside, and why not? Norelia, but his shot blocked by Trey Burnett.
Good help by Burnett on the backside. Nice pass by McClellan.
Good hustle back by DuBose, though, to knock it free from Davis, who looked to have an easy lay-in.
Great job by Burnett dropping down on that backside as Robertson's trying to get to a front. They lob it. Need that backside help. Great block.
Burnett 5th in the Summer League in blocks, averaging 1 a game. That was a big one there. Kasperbauer's been quiet for a while, and he found himself in some traffic. Got kind of hung up. Tucker came away with it. Here's Reed.
57-55 USD. This is going to be a nail biter.
DuBose up and under, left it short, gets it back, and a foul going to go against Eric Robertson.
That's not going to sit well with Coach Smith. DuBose amongst 4 white shirts. Jay comes out of there with the offensive rebound.
And Florida Gulf Coast has been cleaning up on the offensive glass. It felt like they were doing a better job of that than they statistically really were for a while, but it's starting to show up in the box score as well.
Yeah, here you see DuBose amongst 4 white shirts. He comes out of there with it. Knocks the first of 2 down. You talked about it. statistically really starting to wear on USD right now is Florida Gulf Coast activity on the offensive glass, as they've got at least 15, if not 16 of them.
It is 15 officially. Nearly another turnover force there, and Tucker is going to pick up his 4th foul as he blocks McClellan. And that'll send Shy McClellan back to the free throw line.
Just, again, another tipped pass. McClellan does a good job of going to it. You just have to use some ball fakes, move the hands of the defender. You see so many passes being thrown right into the hands against this press, and McClellan knocks another free throw down. Jay, this could be a big turning point for him if he can gain some confidence at the line.
You've got to give credit to McClellan and Burnett. We've talked about how they've struggled. Both of those guys have stepped up here in this second half and hit some big free throws.
Much needed.
And he gets them both. Shy McClellan now 5 of 6 on the night at the free throw line. Again, came in 42% at the stripe on the season. Under 5 minutes to play in Sioux Falls. 2-point game in favor of South Dakota.
And USD nursing that lead, trying to keep everything on the perimeter.
Skips it over Tucker. Quick pass. Here's Reed on the drive. Goes at Robertson. Hangs up somehow. Gets it to go.
Great job by Reed to kind of avoid the contact. Robertson goes straight up. Nice finish by Reed.
59 apiece. Burnett. Shot blocked by Tucker. It's going to go to Florida Gulf Coast. Last touch by South Dakota.
That's the thing that's in the head of the guys in USD right now, is just how active and aggressive. Here you see Reed off the quick reversal, skip pass, finishes over the bigger Robertson. Tie ball game.
Aurelius pass intercepted by Burnett. Casey Kasperbauer is fouled by Reed, and that's going to be his 3rd. Kasperbauer, certainly a guy, if you're Craig Smith, you would like to see get to the free throw line. 93% on the year.
And that's a credit to Kasperbauer. Jay, you're looking at a senior there. Yes, the guy's specialty is knocking down 3-point shots. And so what do you know is going to happen late in the game? Those defenders are going to close out hard. Smart enough, experienced enough to realize I can attack that closeout with the dribble. Gets himself to the free throw line and knocks down the first of 2.
Kasperbauer, 2nd all-time at USD in free throw percentage. 89% for his career. As we just said, 93% on the season. He's tops in the Summit League, and he gets them both to put the Coyotes back in front. We didn't have a whole lot of lead changes for the first half and change, Greg, but we've seen several here over the last few minutes.
Spaticianen is back in the game now. A little 2-2-1 token full court pressure for USD, giving Florida Gulf Coast a different look, kind of a straight 2-3 zone now for USD. We've seen a lot of man action. See how Florida Gulf Coast handles the zone.
Bose, Reed had to go up and get it. Here's Terrell, open look for him, and he knocks it down.
Great job by Reed. Turnover.
And Terrell again. Coyotes still struggling with that pressure. It's a 3-point lead for Florida Gulf Coast. McClellan to Robertson. And a timeout for Craig Smith. 3.
Stanford does in the healthcare industry is incredible.
So 64-63 as we approach 3 minutes to play. Aurelia nearly traveled with it there as he changed direction in the lane. Here's Tucker. Reed steps on the gas and has it knocked away by Trey Burnett with 11 on the shot clock. 2nd block of this second half for Trey Burnett.
Great job by Trey Burnett to stay with the play, and then comes in from behind. Knocks it out of bounds.
Terrell left it well short this time. Kasperbauer quickly pushes it the other way, not allowing Florida Gulf Coast to set up any kind of pressure that time. Here's Kasperbauer. A little bit of space is all he needs, and Kasperbauer puts the Coyotes back in front.
Casey Kasperbauer was huge at the beginning of the game. He's huge in the last 3 minutes.
66-64. Kasperbauer, a new career high, 28 points. And again, the Pentagon fans on their feet. Here's Terrell, who's had a huge second half. Blocking foul called underneath on Shai McClellan. And we're going to have to get a good look at this. It looked like he was outside the circle.
That's going to be a difficult one. It's a late whistle. McClellan's there.
And it's 5.
Great block by Burnett
on Shai McClellan, so that's it for him.
And if I'll tell you what, we have to see if he was in the circle, because I don't think that he certainly didn't move laterally prior to that offensive player leaving the ground or going into a scoring motion. If we can see where McClellan was set up at, here we can see.
Keep an eye on the white line.
Well outside of it.
Well outside, and he's there.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And Terrell, who's been so big in the second half, Jay, you've talked about it on the point of that press. He's created turnovers. He's knocked down shots.
Scored 18 of his 20 points here in the second half. Chance to tie it up again from the free throw line. Upcoming live events here on Midco Sports Network. Men's hockey, Alabama Huntsville at North Dakota, Friday and Saturday night, 7:30. The puck drop on Friday, 7 o'clock on Saturday. Men's basketball at Sunday afternoon, Western Illinois. Pleasant surprise this year for Billy Turner. Leatherneck's visiting South Dakota State on Sunday afternoon. Well, Terrell ties it up again at 66.
Trey Norris running the point now with McClellan fouled out, as you talked about, Jay.
Norris has 3 himself. What a finish by Trey Burnett.
Big time spin move. Nice finish at the rim. Been frustrated with him a little bit against that pressure, but he's been really good offensively.
Gives the Coyotes a 2-point lead.
DeBose swings it out. Here's Reed. He'll put it on the deck. Oh, open look for DeBose. He got it.
Punch. Counter punch. Minute 20 left in the game.
This has turned into quite a back-and-forth affair. 69-68, Florida Gulf Coast with the lead. Robertson from 17 feet rattles out.
Halfway down right now, Florida Gulf Coast with a 1-point lead as we approach 1 minute in the game. Key defensive possession for USD.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute.
Seven on the shot clock. Terrell. Norelia knocks it down from 18 feet.
How big has he been throughout this game? We talked about Terrell. Huge second half. Coach Smith takes a timeout. But Norelia so
right next to his bench. Trey Burnett gets it and the foul.
That's exactly what they wanted. Quick action to the rim. ISO action. They know. The neat thing is, watch this. They've got Casey Kasperbauer on Trey Burnett's side. Guess who they're not going to help off of, Jay? They're not going to leave Casey Kasperbauer. That leaves Trey Burnett in a one-on-one situation. He just overpowers his defender, gives himself a chance at a three-point play. You've talked about it already. He struggled during the year from the line, but during this game, he's been very, very good.
That's it for Rajon Tucker. 5 personal fouls. He's done for the night with 2 points. Big free throw coming up here for Trey Burnett. 33.1 seconds remaining. And he gets it again. Trey Burnett, 4 of 5 at the free throw line. He's had a good second half for South Dakota. We're tied at 71.
Everybody up in the Pentagon. 1 defensive stop from USD. They want to play a few extra minutes.
About a 2-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Florida Gulf Coast will have to shoot it. Here's Terrell. Good defense there. Picked up his dribble. Here's DeBose. Not going to get it off in time. Shot clock violation.
Wow, I tell you what, DeBose even rolled over with the ball. Surprised they didn't have the traveling call. Now the officials are going to go to the monitor, say how many seconds are left. It should be 3.3 if it was
8. And USD both have wins at Minnesota. But a great year. Can the Coyotes finish it off? 3.1 seconds remaining, tied at 71. Norris at the horn, and he leaves it short. We're going to overtime in Sioux Falls. What a ball game. South, longtime assistant Craig Smith, coaching for South Dakota. Coyotes win the tip to start the overtime session. They've got Norris, DJ Davis, Robertson, Burnett, and Kasperbauer out there. Remember, Shy McClellan, assistant Craig Smith, coaching for South Dakota. Coyotes win the tip to start the overtime session. They've got Norris, DJ Davis, Robertson, Burnett, and Kasperbauer out there. Remember, Shy McClellan, the starting point guard, fouled out, and Robertson, the leader, plus the foul.
I'll tell you what, you hit it on the head earlier. Robertson had struggled mightily from the field, and this time able to kind of knife in between two defenders, finish with contact, and one chance to put USD up 3 here early in overtime.
Robertson missed his first 6 field goals of the night, had missed 9 straight overall going back to the UNLV game, has 3 field goals now and 7 points in this second half, has 9 for the night.
Well, when USD tightened up defensively late in this game, that's what allowed them to push it into overtime. We'll see what their energy looks like in the half court on the defensive end.
Keep your eyes on Terrell. Huge second half, 20 second half points for him. Marquetti Norelia's been awfully good as well. Another shot disrupted by Trey Burnett.
And Trey Burnett has come alive on both ends of the floor as well. We've seen him with a couple of big block shots and a couple of big-time finishes offensively.
He was awfully quiet in that first half for South Dakota. Has really come on in clutch time in this second half and now into overtime. But Kasperbauer's first attempt from beyond the arc of the overtime frame does not go. And so the lead stays at 3 for Florida Gulf Coast. Robertson on the body.
Yep, he got his kind of right arm locked up with Norelia. Norelia goes to the line. Nice job of forcing it in there. The help side was nowhere to be found, and that forced Robertson to kind of foul him on the catch. Norelia has been so active, had such a major impact on this game, as he will, for I think, for the majority of Florida Gulf Coast game this year.
He's 3 for 7 at the line tonight is Norelia.
He's hit the big ones late.
Couple here. And it's a 1-point game again. That's where we spent the majority. 1 2-point differential was where we saw most of that second half, at least over the last few minutes. Robertson, the putback is good. And Robertson, 11 points, 5 in overtime. He's been huge for this team, Greg, in overtime sessions against Minnesota, against Milwaukee, and already here tonight.
Yeah, he knows what time the games are won.
Vitichinen's 3 is too strong, and Robertson's going to pick up his 5th foul on the rebound. That's a big loss.
It is, especially with the energy he brought early. Now you're going to see maybe either Jack or Hagedorn. They're going to come over to the bench quick, talk it over. But Norelia forces the foul action from those post players. Robertson, great energy to get USD off to a great start in the overtime. Now we'll see who they replace him with. Looks like it's going to be Jack.
Jack a little bit better on the glass. 3.5 rebounds to 2.7 against Hagedorn. And at this point, you gotta kind of play those numbers a little bit if you're Craig Smith, and he elects to go with the Rochester, Minnesota native over the Norfolk, Nebraska native.
I think Jack brings a little more length as well. You go back to the replay, as our guys showed it so well. That's what you give up when you front in the post, is that rebounding position. Robertson got caught behind Norelia. That put him back on the line. He missed the first of two, missed both.
Vatichinen off his neck and out of bounds as he nearly took that rebound away from Trey Burnett.
This is going to be a film nightmare for some of these guys. Coaching staff's going to wonder, how can so many blue shirts get inside of the white shirts on those free throw rebounds?
Interesting decision there as Florida Gulf Coast backed off that pressure. Remember, the Coyotes had so much trouble with that in the second half, but they ease up after the inbound this time.
Here's the ISO again with Kasperbauer in the corner, one-on-one for Burnett.
Miscommunication there. Davis and Norris, each guy thought the other one was going to go catch that pass. Neither of them did. It's another turnover for South Dakota. And with 3:01 to go, Florida Gulf Coast gets it back down 3.
A number of chances they've had to push this to a 2-possession game. Coach Smith with his head in his hand after that one.
Terrell high off the window, but it does not drop. Burnett the rebound. Getting chased by Terrell. Good hustle by him, and Reed collects it for Florida Gulf Coast. Nobody told Burnett that Terrell was trailing him, and he pokes it away from behind.
I know nobody told him, but when you only see 2 or 3 blue jerseys in front of you, you know there's 2 or 3 behind you.
Good defense there by Burnett, but Norelia sticks with it, gets the lay-in to go, and it's a 1-point game again.
Norelia just relentless.
Nobody wants to go home a loser in this one.
We talked about that RPI for the Summit League. A win like this over Florida Gulf Coast only strengthens it.
3 for Kasperbauer.
Kasperbauer's defender, Julian DeBose, chose to cut underneath the screen. Big mistake. You don't shortcut screens when you're trailing shooters. Kasperbauer makes him pay. 31 on the game.
7th three-pointer of the night for Kasperbauer, and a quick answer for Terrell at the other end for Florida Gulf Coast. He's got 24, and it's a 2-point game once again.
How many times has Terrell had an answer in this second half, Jay?
Those 2 individual efforts have been something to watch through the course of this ball game, that's for sure. Burnett, and strong to the rim, and the Coyotes struggled to finish at the rim in that first half and much of the second half, Greg, but they've really picked it up down the stretch of this ball game. Again, here's Terrell. He's going to be fouled by Jack, which is okay if you're South Dakota. That's just his second personal.
Yeah, you go back to Burnett and Robertson, so strong finishing at the rim. Here you watch Kasperbauer's defender cuts underneath the screen. Kasperbauer makes him pay. You always trail shooters away from the basket. They didn't. Kasperbauer made him pay. And then we see Terrell on the other end. He's had an answer.
Terrell misses the free throw.
Terrell, 7 boards, 1 block, 2 assists, 24 points. Huge second half, but a huge miss.
6 of 8 at the free throw line, make it 7 of 9. It's still a 3-point lead for South Dakota.
Minute 17, so much time, a number of possessions left in this game yet.
Morse gets it across half court.
No longer a 5-second closely guarded rule.
Coyotes catch a break there as it went off the official. Jack
was heads up enough to realize that if it's off the official, it's still a live ball. 2-possession game.
Got to play to the whistle. The freshman recognizes it. DeBose for 3. Timeout, Joe Dooley and Florida Gulf conferences in the country. Highlights, feature stories, interviews from all across the league. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock with your host, Tom Neiman. 83-81 South Dakota as the Summer League try to pick up another quality non-conference win here against Florida Gulf Coast.
Trey Norris just going to keep it. They're going to work the shot clock. Probably try to run something about 7 or 8. Push it to a 2-possession game. ISO for Burnett once again.
Jack hit the floor. Burnett into the paint. Here's Davis. Turnaround. Not
Nice find by Burnett Davis. Strong gets the defender on his back, pushes it to 4.
And Davis, the hustle play for the turnover. And the